I didn't almost fail classes. I did fail a lot of classes.
Sure.
Don't let your past dictate your future. Oh my God, this guy is an aerospace engineer working at one of the top aerospace companies, and he graduated at the bottom 2% of his class. As much as I love my job, Beast Games is a once in a lifetime opportunity, and it definitely was. We were locked in a nice jail, right?
Yeah.
It felt like I knew people for months.
Yeah.
I think it was a numbers game. Don't stop trying. You only lose if you give up. They hit those guys off the obstacle course and got through. That's when me and Omar, we did the math right away in our head. We're not going to have a chance.
Hey y'all, welcome to another episode of Behind the Beast, where we get to know the contestants on Beast Games Season 2, Strong vs. Smart.
Hey everyone, my name is Inaam Khan. I am number 27 on the Smart team on Beast Games Season 2, and I am an engineer in aerospace.
So now, after doing some research, I discovered that at a certain point in your life, you got very close to failing your classes and not even graduating, but then you made a full comeback, and you then became an engineer. So can you walk us through what that time in your life was like and the biggest lessons you learned from there?
Oh man, there are so many lessons I want to talk about. First of all, I didn't almost fail classes. I did fail a lot of classes.
Sure.
And I was on academic probation after my first semester in college. And it was definitely a really difficult time. I think a part of it were my own choices. A part of it was also I had a lot going on.
Mm-hmm.
My house caught on fire, and we were living at my friend's house for about 7-8 months at the time. My father got a quadruple bypass. So there was definitely personal things going on. But I'm not going to take responsibility off of myself because I was messing around a lot. I was fooling around a lot. I used to skip a lot of classes in high school, and I thought I could do the same in college and engineering school. It didn't work out. So I had to get really serious really quick. So I was on academic probation pretty much every other semester. I was able to just get through, just pretty much get C's and D's, just get my way through, and I was able to graduate. And I ended up getting a better job than a lot of my classmates. And I think it's just a lot of people that get really good grades, they're not used to being rejected. Mm-hmm. And I was already so used to being rejected, I just applied to jobs over and over again. Oh, nice. I'd get like 100 rejection emails, and then once in a while I would finally get accepted. So I think it was a numbers game at the time. That was a very big thing. I mean, I didn't give up. That was one thing. Mm-hmm. You only lose if you give up. That's a big one. So even if I knew some classes were tough, I just kept on it. Another trick I learned is that if you think you're close to failing a class, after the semester ends and you're not happy with your grade, you can email your professor, and many times they might even change the grade. So that was something that I used every single time. Even if I was happy with my grade, I'd still be like, hey, professor, why'd I get a B-? I thought I deserved a B because of so-and-so. And sometimes it would actually change it. So that was something, a trick that I used. And I always live by this motto that don't let where you are currently in life justify where you want to be later on. Like, don't let your current situation dictate your future, right? So even though I had a low GPA, I wasn't going to let that stop me for the rest of my life. Like, oh my God, I failed out of engineering school. Now I can't find a job in anything like that. I tried my best to make sure I got a job. And then people stop asking you about your GPA after that.
It really does not matter.
Yeah, after your first job, no one really cares.
Yeah. So now, when applying for Beast Games, did you actually talk about this, or were you kind of trying to hide that part of your life that at a certain point you didn't really try as much?
Yeah, no, I mean, I probably mentioned that just because I think it added some charisma. Yeah. Like, oh my God, this guy is an aerospace engineer working at one of the top aerospace companies, and he graduated at the bottom 2% of his class. So that's actually something I found out later on. I remember I was on probation every other semester, and at my time, you needed a 2.0 to graduate, and I think I got it like a 2.1. Mm-hmm. I did the bare minimum just to get through. And I remember that they actually raised that minimum later on to like a 2.5. So now I probably wouldn't have even graduated.
Dang, yeah.
So then it made me think, I'm like, wait a minute, if I barely graduated, I wonder what percentage of my class I was at. And I actually did the research, and I realized I graduated at the bottom 2% of my class.
Dang.
And that's when, I was, someone wanted to interview me at my university because they heard about this, and they're like, oh, you're working at Pratt & Whitney. At the time I was working at Pratt & Whitney, which again, one of the 3 jet engine manufacturers in aerospace. And they're like, how did you graduate at the bottom 2% of your class and you end up here? And that's kind of where the whole story came from. In terms of Beast Games, yeah, I think I did mention it. Again, just added charisma. Also, I think that the constant rejection and being okay with it is what made me apply to Beast Games in the first place. I knew that if I applied and I didn't get in, the worst case I would see is just a no. Yeah. So I think a lot of people don't apply to Beast Games thinking they're just not going to get in.
That's kind of what happened in my situation, where I just did not even think it was going to happen.
Yeah, and I take advantage. I'll be honest, I'll take advantage of that because I know mentally, I know that most people are not going to apply because they think they won't get in, and that just increases my chance.
So now, when you look back, what part of your lowest moments actually helped you to develop the person that you are today?
Oh man, I feel like your lowest moments are what teach you to be gives you the skills that you need to move on to the next level of your life. So I think some of the things I learned at my lowest point, probably in college, was first grit. I mean, don't give up, just keep going. Because if you stop, like I mentioned, if you stop, that's when you lose. So being okay with rejection, constantly moving forward, and even if it's a little bit, just don't stop trying. You didn't fail until you stopped. And then never letting, again, your current situation dictate your future.
So now we're actually currently in your studio where you like to create a lot of political content on your YouTube channel.
Yeah.
So how do you actually decide what certain topics to talk about? Is it what's trending, what's misunderstood, or just something that people aren't hearing?
That's actually a really good question, Brandon. So initially, I started my YouTube channel making finance content just because at the time during COVID, everyone was like, oh, financial content is where you make all the money. And I realized that it's extremely competitive. I mean, I wouldn't stop. I didn't give up. I kept going and I actually got monetized doing financial content. But I realized, first of all, it's not getting the views I wanted. Like the journey I wanted to take, it was going to be way too long just doing it through financial content. And I heard people like Mr. Beast and many other YouTubers basically say that you should make content that you would make for free because you're going to get burned out. The journey is so long on YouTube. You will get burned out if you don't make content that you actually enjoy doing. So then what I ended up doing was I used to watch a lot of YouTube videos. I'm sure you do. I'm sure a lot of people do. And I started making content on the videos that I like to watch because that's something that I genuinely enjoy doing. And crazy enough, that's when I saw the most amount of views. That's when my views exploded. So I was really into political content, just watching it. And then there were some videos and podcasts that were really long, like 2-3 hours long. I love to watch them, but I know not everyone has the time to watch those. So I think initially what I started was I'll just choose the highlight clips from those videos, compile them into a shorter video. So instead of a 3-hour podcast, all you have to do is watch like a 20-minute clip.
And get a recap.
Yeah, a recap. And then I'll just post my reaction to that. And that's when I started blowing up.
Nice. So people like really started to actually like your videos because of your reaction. So it's not even just about the clipping.
Yeah, it was both. I mean, they got to see the highlights of a clip of a debate without watching the whole entire thing. And they liked my reaction too. There was a genuine reaction because I genuinely liked watching that stuff and was into it. So I recommend anyone that wants to start a YouTube channel. I mean, reaction channels, if you already watch if you're already into YouTube and watching YouTube videos, reaction channels are some of the easiest things you could do because just react to a video you enjoyed watching and you've already made it unique. You're not trying to be someone else. You're just being yourself. I keep it very organic, actually. Generally, it's videos that I enjoy watching myself. It'll come up on my feed. And I think if I see it trending and getting a lot of views, I'll just react to it. Because if I liked watching it, I'm sure a lot of other people like watching it. And then I'm sure a lot of people would like to watch a shortened version of it. That's what I used to do early on. At this point now, because I'm pretty busy now, I pay a few editors out on like Upworks and stuff, and they choose videos for me to react to.
Nice. And like, again, if it is already trending, then you know that the audience already resonates with the topic.
Yeah.
And then you just add your own perspective to it.
Yep, exactly.
That's a great strategy.
Yeah, because in a way, it gives you unlimited content. Instead of trying to like script your own content every single time, I mean, you put a lot of pressure on yourself, especially someone like me who works full time, who was going to school full time too until recently. I mean, I'm a husband, I'm a father, I'm a son, my parents live here too. So I have a lot going on. I travel a lot. It just makes it easier when I can outsource it and get clips to me. And then it's unlimited content, less I have to think about.
So now there are a lot of viewers who actually now come to your content to learn about certain things happening in the world. So what responsibility do you feel about the accuracy of what you present and the framing of how you present it?
That's a great question. And that's also another reason why I enjoy making reaction videos, because one of the biggest issues I had when I was doing finance content is that I'm not that much of an authoritative figure, right? Like, yeah, I have my MBA, I'm educated, and, you know, I might be doing okay financially. There's people that are way more qualified than me on YouTube. They have better edited videos, better scripting. I just can't compete with that. So in situations where you can't compete, the best thing to do is just be yourself. And so one of the good things about reaction content is that you're not trying to be an authority. You're just being yourself. This is your genuine opinion. Other people can agree with it or disagree with it. It doesn't make it wrong. This is just my opinion. I mean, take it or leave it. If you like it, watch more videos. If you don't like it, find another person to watch.
Dealing with a lot of polarizing topics often, is there ever a time where you made a video and then somebody commented something and that actually changed your perspective on a topic?
First of all, I think polarizing content is the best content to make if you want to get views early on. I've always been the controversial guy, so like I like doing that. And I've told you I'm like the king of awkward situations. That's just me. Now, are there comments that changed my mind on many things? Yeah, of course. I mean, I don't think anyone is above criticism. If people give me genuine feedback, I'm definitely open to listening. Like some people might say I'm adding too much commentary or wait for the commentary for the end or beginning. That's always stuff I listen to. In terms of actual political opinions, yeah. So there's a few different types of comments, and this is something you're gonna have to get used to on YouTube. You get a lot of negativity.
Yeah.
And for that kind of stuff, I feel like I've been immune to that. It doesn't really bother me. But those types of comments, I don't really take seriously. There's a lot of people that are there just because they're having a horrible day and they just want to post negativity. That's fine. And then there's people that are always just going to say good stuff about you no matter what. And I don't really listen to that too much either. You want to be humble, grounded. But then there's people in the middle that have genuine feedback that, hey, I think you're wrong about this opinion. You should look this up. And or I disagree with you said this here and this is why. When I see comments like that, I do take time to read them and I do change my opinion sometimes. I can't think of an example right off the top of my head, but there have definitely been moments when I'm like, okay, I was wrong about that, and I'll reply to their comment. Actually, I'll be like, hey, I looked into this, you're right, I was wrong, thanks for letting me know.
And I think that is like one of the main mindsets in like conversation and developing as human beings is we need to have that conversation and discourse. And we're never going to be fully 100% right through our entire life. There will be moments where we are wrong. So that's a great perspective to have.
Thanks.
So now I feel your background and the way you grew up is very important to the opinions you form throughout your life. So would you mind telling the viewers a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, sure. I mean, surprise, surprise, I'm a devout Muslim. My parents are immigrants that moved to America in the 1980s. So I am a first generation American. I think a lot of the hard work I've learned and the grit I've learned is from my parents. I've seen them work a lot. And I think first generation immigrants tend to be very hardworking. And, studies show it. I think 40% of CEOs are immigrants or children of immigrants. So I think that's played a big part in my life. Religion's huge. I mean, I know you met me in the mosque. I try to go to the mosque every single day. And yeah, I'm just a family guy. I mean, my family means everything to me. My parents, my wife, my daughter, my siblings. That's all my life revolves around, basically.
And you also live in a multi-generational household right now.
Yeah, I know that's really different, Brandon. So my wife and my daughter live with me, obviously, and then my parents also live with me. So it's I feel like if you could get the multi-generational home right, it's really tough to do, but if you get it right, it's amazing because your kids want a lot of attention. Grandparents love giving attention, so that's like a perfect combination right there. And then it gives the husband and wife some alone time as well. So I think it works out well if you could get it to work. All right, welcome to the Islamic Center of Greater Cincinnati. This is a beautiful mosque. I usually try to come here at least once a day. Right now everyone's praying, so I'm trying to talk a little quieter. But just here, give them a shot around the mosque. It's a beautiful building. You got people praying the 5th prayer today. So Muslims pray 5 times a day. We just prayed the last one, the 5th one at night. So yeah, we're just walking around, going back. Okay, Brandon, come with me over here. You're just with me at the mosque. This is where we pray at home. I mean, as you know, I'm a devout Muslim. Religion is very important to me. Muslims, one of the things we have to do that's a big part of our faith is pray 5 times a day. So this is usually where we pray as a family at home.
Yeah, and I remember actually like in the city and the dorms, you and Amar oftentimes would like get some mats and like even pray. That was like really wholesome that like even whenever you're out of your everyday life, you still kept up.
Yeah, I think trust was a big part in Beast Games. And I felt like that kind of increased a lot of trust between me and Omar. Like it's just, we're very honest and open with each other about everything. Like, hey, are you going to accept that? No, I'm not going to accept it. Are you? Yeah, I might. Like we're really open about it with each other and, no judgment or anything. We both understood each other's situations, but I think it definitely did help. All right, so I have a hobby. I have a problem. My dad and I both. We love cars. So we spend way too much time out here. But yeah, so this is my 1988 Trans Am. Old American car. My dad bought it brand new in 88. It got stolen twice in New York.
Oh, wow.
And we got it back both times. So this thing, my dad, again, he bought it brand new in 88. We restored the whole thing a few years ago. This is my baby right here. And then this is my dad's newest project. We worked on it together. It's a 1958 Mercedes.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, we're working on it. We just got it started a few days ago. But yeah, I mean, we spend way too much time here, but it makes us happy. And then this is just another toy my dad got. Yeah, I mean, hey,
yeah.
father-son relationship. This is how we bond.
Oh, and I love all the models you have up here as well.
Yeah.
This is beautiful.
My tools,
Papa's
my
garage.
rules, baby.
So now, prior to the games, you decided to leave your full-time job to go on to Beast Games. So what were the thought processes to make that decision for you, and are you happy with the way things turned out?
Oh, yeah, of course. So I did not originally plan on doing that. So the company I was working for, again, a huge aerospace company, they gave unlimited PTO. And so when I decided I wanted to go to Beast Games, it was really last minute. I said, hey, I might need up to 6 weeks off. And they're like, what? And I told them like a week or two before I had to go. And I said, yeah, unfortunately, that's how it's going to be. And they said, we might be able to support it. It might not be paid, but yeah, we could probably support it. And I said, okay, that's fine. I love my job. They treated me really well. What ended up happening, I never got an email back from them, like a confirmation. So I reached out to HR and I said, hey, I never heard back. What's the status of this? I really got to, I need to know. And so my manager said, hey, come to my office. Let's call HR together. And that's when I'm like, something's up. And so at the time, I was in Connecticut. I was visiting family. And so when my manager said, hey, let's call HR together, I knew something was going to be up. And I told my parents and my wife, I'm like, I have a feeling they're going to tell me to quit or they're going to fire me or something, because very rarely does your manager and HR talk to you together, and it's a good thing. Yeah. So basically, lo and behold, my parents and my wife, they're all freaking out. Like, what are you going to do? Are you going to quit your job? What are you going to do? Because this wasn't on anyone's radar. Yeah. Like, they all knew I was going to go to Beast Games. No one thought I was going to lose my job. Yeah. And so my wife was panicking. My parents were panicking. They're like, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? I just wanted to hear everyone's opinions. Like, what do you guys think I should do? I knew darn well what I was going to do. And then my parents were like, no, maybe you should. No, maybe you shouldn't. Maybe you should. And my wife was like, and I know what you're going to do. You're going to quit. Why are you acting like you don't know? And I'm like, hey, there's a reason. She's my wife. She knows me pretty well. And that is what I ended up doing. But I guess at the end of the day, the math I did in my head was, is it harder to get into Beast Games or is it harder to get another job? And I said, as much as I love my job, Beast Games is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. And it definitely was. Yeah. And so I chose that. And I think in retrospect, I definitely made the right decision, because I came back, I was unemployed. I was able to focus on my YouTube channel. I grew my YouTube channel quite a bit. I was able to go on vacation, spend some good quality time with my wife, my daughter. And then I ended up getting a job anyway. So everything worked out. And actually, I like this job a lot. I get to travel a lot more. It's fun.
So now you did make it to the obstacle course challenge, but unfortunately you were put to the back of the line of your team. So you didn't even get the opportunity to go onto the course. Yeah. What is the thought process behind the order that your team decided? And is there anything that you think you could have done to change the outcome?
I've thought about that a lot. So the way we chose the order of the team was we looked at there's so many obstacle courses before us, like a bunch of teams that we were the last team to go. Mm-hmm. So all the teams we saw before us, we thought in our head, if it was going to be a competition of speed, who could get the first 2 or 3 people across, like some word like that, we should start off with the strongest people first. So we had Ian first, and then I think we had Tyler. Mm-hmm. Tyler next, and then we had Briley. And then after that, me and Omar were like, hopefully by then they get through and we already win. And if push comes to shove, we could get through too. So we thought it was going to be like that. And so that's how we set up the order. When we got there and we realized that only the top 5 from either team gets through, that's when me and Omar, we did the math right away in our head. We're like, we're not going to have a chance. There's no way we're going to have a chance to go. And that's when we started thinking, so obviously they did that specific challenge so the team fights against each other. Mm-hmm. And that's exactly what he wanted. And I was really proud of the fact that our team didn't end up doing that. So Ian, Briley, Tyler, for a split second, they were like, hey, we're just going to get through. And it's like, hey, top 5 get through. I'm like, listen, and we know we're not going to have a chance of that if you guys do that. And we said that the fairest thing you could do is at the very least do your part and try to kick those guys off. And then at least it gives me and Omar a chance. And so they were very honest about that. And they did do that. And so I give them a lot of credit for that. Ian and Tyler, they both did their part. They hit those guys off the obstacle course and got through. And it gave us somewhat of a chance. Unfortunately, we still didn't get a chance to go on the obstacle course. Now, in retrospect, thinking, I thought about it a lot. I don't think I would do anything different. I mean, the only thing I could have done is maybe, been a lot more forceful with Briley and say, no, I'm going next. I don't care what you say. I could have done that. But I just felt like, it wouldn't have been worth it for me at that point because she was already going to go and she probably would not have said yes. So what am I going to do? Push her? Like, I couldn't do that either.
And then that also just like forces you into a villain narrative.
I don't care about being a villain.
Oh, no,
I don't care. Honestly, I enjoy it. It gets more views. It gets more views. So that wasn't really the thing. It's just I wasn't going to push her off the obstacle course. That just wasn't me.
So now, one thing that we talked about earlier is that whenever you came home to your wife, she actually said that you were somehow more peaceful. So can you talk about like why that happened?
Yeah. So when I got home, my wife was like, something about you changed. You're just more relaxed. And like, you're just so calm. You're not getting mad about anything. And, I say this, like, I think going to Beast Games was definitely a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, especially in today's day and time, because we were locked in basically a nice jail, right?
Yeah.
No phones. You can't talk to anyone outside. And you're stuck with everyone who left their loved ones, their families, their friends, and you're just stuck together. And, it just felt like you went back to the 90s. When you're talking to someone, you're talking with them directly, no distractions, no electronics. And it was crazy how quickly you could build a deep connection with people. Like, I only knew people for 3.5 weeks or 3 weeks, but it felt like I knew people for months or longer. And, just the whole fact of us, because we had no electronics or anything to do, we'd be playing board games all night. And it reminded me of growing up with my cousins back in the 90s, and that's literally all we would do. And I kind of missed that. It was actually a really nice time. Yeah, I'm never going to forget that.
Yeah, as audience members, like, if you can, put away your phone for a few days even. I know it's hard sometimes with work and family obligations, but if you have that opportunity, definitely do so. Meet some people. It's actually amazing.
Dude, I tried. I'll be honest. I feel like it's almost impossible. We were in such a special situation where someone had to force us to do that.
Sure.
I think if you're not forced to do it, there's no way, because I tried to. When I came back, I told my wife, you got to experience what I experienced. Yeah. It was just insane. So we tried to. We went on vacation and we tried to put our phones away. You can't. Yeah. It's just not as easy. Like, someone literally has to take your phones and lock them away. Yeah.
And we didn't get our phone access until literally after our eliminations. And
after I got eliminated, my phone was buzzing for like a solid 20 minutes. Yeah. It was just insane. Hello, MTV Cribs. Welcome to my studio.
Let's see this.
All right, welcome to my humble abode. This is a small, tiny little bedroom that I converted into my studio. Yeah. I love it because it's small, tiny, carpeted floors, very little echo. So we decorated this place pretty much ourselves. My wife chose pretty much everything, like the black things here. She chose to do that corner. Bookshelf she decorated.
And so are the black things to like reduce the sound?
No, they're not. It's just for looks.
Okay, because I know they have like the foam ones, but these are like metallic.
It's not even foam. I think I got it off Facebook for like $50.
Nice.
So this whole studio cost me. So okay, these lights, $50. Facebook studio. The microphone is the only nice thing here. My wife, she got it as a birthday gift. This little arm thing, again, I think it's from like Timo or something. The desk, Facebook. This whole studio cost me like $300, I think.
Oh wow.
Okay. Yeah, it's cheap.
And I feel like your quality is like very strong. Is there like any softwares you use?
No. So here's the thing. Here's what I've learned. So when I originally started, I just used my phone.
Yeah.
And I still only use my iPhone. That's all I use. But as I went on, I learned a lot about editing and lighting and all of that. So the biggest differences are always your lighting. If you could find a small room like this where you could shut all the lights off and then control your lighting, there's no windows. You notice there's no windows here.
Yeah.
Really important, because then you could control it. So 2 lights in the front. You always want 1 neon light in the back. Just adds a lot of depth. And then you can use your phone. Your phone will do the job. It makes your quality stand out. Now, another thing I realized is that your audience cares more about sound than the visuals. People are much more willing to see crappy video quality with good sound than the opposite. They don't want to hear muzzled sound. You can barely hear it, but it's in 4K. They don't care about that. So that's another thing I realized. And yeah, I mean, dude, anyone who wants to start a YouTube channel, you can start it with your iPhone. My recommendation is react to videos that you enjoy watching. That's probably the easiest way to get started. Or just make videos on stuff you enjoy making videos about. It has to be something sustainable, because it took me 2 years to get monetized. You got to be willing to put the work in and make videos for 2 years, maybe more, until it actually starts making sense financially.
Yeah. Are there any softwares that you have started using that are like actually helping you in your process of creating your podcast?
Yeah, for
or
sure.
reaction videos?
So the biggest one, because I make reaction content, StreamYard is definitely a game changer. StreamYard made it so much easier for me. Without StreamYard, I don't even know how I would be reacting to videos. That's a big one. The other one is Mr. Beast actually made a website called ViewStats. I don't know if you're familiar with it.
I don't know, yeah.
So he made this video. This guy's just everywhere. Literally, this guy's everywhere. So ViewStats actually is a way you can tell how videos and channels are doing, like their views and everything.
Yeah.
And it's really helpful to see which videos are popping off, which video thumbnails are doing well. It gives you thumbnail ideas. It's a very, very helpful tool. So ViewStats is very important. If you want to see views of another channel, you can easily see that. There's just so much information. What kind of videos are taking off? Very helpful for that. How much money other YouTubers are making? Very helpful for that. So StreamYard, ViewStats. The other one is Upworks. Upworks I use a lot for hiring outsourcing contractors and all of that. For example, I have people find me clips. I have people edit videos for me. I have people, sometimes when I'm too busy, I can't even post it. So I'll just record and people have access to my YouTube and my StreamYard. They will literally take the video from my StreamYard, upload it onto YouTube because it's really time consuming, even though it's really simple, really time consuming. And I pay someone like $15, I'm doing it in Pakistan, right? Yeah. So Upworks makes it a lot easier, especially for small creators. Until you can scale up. So those three things, very important. Canva, making thumbnails. Thumbnails is probably one of the most important things on a YouTube video. You can make the best video in the world. No one's going to watch it if you don't market it well.
Yeah.
So thumbnails are extremely important. Canva, so worth it. It's like, what, 10 or $15 a month?
Yeah.
Definitely worth it. So yeah, those. I think.
Perfect. Well, yeah, thanks so much for showing up your setup. Are these some of the degrees that you got with the C's?
Yeah. C's and D's get degrees, baby. Yeah. Bachelor of Science, bottom 2% of my engineering class. But here we are. And then this one, this one was just to rub it in that degree's face. I went to an Ivy League school, Brown University, baby. Got a master's degree at an Ivy League school just to prove to myself that I could do it. I just wasn't trying.
And then there you, how'd you do in your second time around with your master's degree?
I think I got like a 3.8.
Hey, there you go. So
yeah, that one was more just proving it to myself that I could have done it. I just didn't try. And I'm like, okay, now I feel better.
Well, there you go. Well, yeah, but thank you again for sharing your setup. And this is a really cool studio. And again, if anyone really wants to start a YouTube, you can. You just got to, again, start with just a phone and put yourself out there.
That's all it takes, man.
All right, and to finish things off, we're going to do some rapid fire questions.
Let's go.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Cool. What's one habit you've broken that used to hold you back?
I feel like I don't wake up late anymore. And I never used to really wake up that late, like 9 a.m.-ish. Mm-hmm. But like now I try to stay up after sunrise. So like 6 a.m., 5:30, 6 a.m., 6:30 a.m. I try to stay up after that. I think it's made a world of a difference in my life and the things you're able to accomplish.
Perfect. What's one sentence you tell a student who's on the verge of giving up?
I mean, giving up doesn't help anyone. So, no, it's don't let your current situation dictate your future. Don't let your past dictate your future.
There we go. Great quote. 3 times now.
Yeah, I took it. 3rd time's a charm.
So now, what's your favorite engineering principle that also applies to life?
Okay, there's 2 I can think of right off the bat. One is the number's always right. Mm-hmm. The other one is words talk, numbers scream.
Nice. Okay. Can you explain that a little one?
Yeah. So when a lot of times when you hear a situation, you'll see a lot of words or sentences and facts and stuff. That's fine. But the data is what actually tells you what's going on.
I love that. And then how will you look back on Beast Games years into the future?
Once in a lifetime opportunity. Definitely. There was nothing like that.
Oh, amazing. And part of this once in a lifetime opportunity is we get to meet up with some amazing people. So thank you, Inaam, for taking the time to meet today. And thank you for joining us for another episode of Behind the Beast.
Thank you. Thanks for your time, man. Appreciate it. That was fun.
Thank you for watching another episode of Behind the Beasts. It genuinely means the world to me. Now, for those who do not know, we are also doing a fundraiser across the entirety of the series for Major Connections. It is a foundation created by Gloria, one of the other contestants on the show, and its purpose is to provide resources as well as a sense of community for those with disabilities, both kids and adults, in rural communities. Now, oftentimes major cities, they have the funds to be able to provide these resources, but smaller cities do not, and that is what Major Connections aims to solve. If you want to learn more about Major Connections, check out the link in the description. If you have the financial means to do so, please donate to the cause. And if you don't at this moment, that's okay. Please share it with your friends and family. But for now, thank you for taking the time to watch Behind the Beast, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.